What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another weather forecast here by Age Weather Forecast. It's going to be a video on potential for another upcoming severe weather event for the North Central Plains later this week. For tomorrow and also Wednesday, we have slight risk that can very well become enhanced risk, so we can't rule out the possibility for the severe weather to ramp up once again. We had a small little break of severe weather, and now it seems like it's starting to act up once again after we have very warm temperatures, a huge level of jet bringing wind shear. So we have very favorable conditions really for some upcoming severe weather for the next coming days here. But be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel to show your awesome support. Also, be sure to smash that like button so I know that you enjoyed this video. And also be sure to share the video to anybody that you know could possibly have some severe weather in the next coming days, especially if they live in the North Central Plains. But without further ado, let's get into the timing and where we can possibly have this severe weather tomorrow and possibly even Wednesday. So this is where I think we'll be seeing the severe weather. I highlighted this area in the red where I think we could very well see some very strong severe weather potential here for the next coming days here. This is where we do potentially have a threat for some really large hail, some damaging winds, and even some scattered tornadoes. I cannot rule out the possibility. So if you know anybody in the red, or if you're in the red, you definitely could very well see a change in weather. Instead of sunny or scattered showers, you're going to be seeing some very strong supercells, likely maybe even derechos. So the severe weather is going to be ramping up once again. So Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, even portions of Nebraska, you guys are back into severe weather potential here, including Rapid City, Valentine, O'Neill, Huron, Watertown, Fargo, Grand Forks, Bismarck, Dupree, Rapid City, Willingston, all the way to portions of eastern Montana. So this is where we can very well see either a slight risk, maybe even an enhanced risk, even a marginal we can have here. I think we can very well see level 3, but we're going to continue to wait and monitor this very closely. We're going to be looking at the SPC after this, so you guys can see exactly where we actually have this day 2 and day 3 possibility here. And also we can even see some more severe weather into day 4 and day 5 for portions of the Great Lakes as the storms kind of move to the east. But now that we check that MIMO out, let's go and check out the SPC here. So here we are looking at the SPC for day 2. So here we have a slight risk, or we have a marginal slight risk for, this is actually day 3. Let's go and check out day 2. So this is actually day 2. I do apologize. I actually had pulled up the wrong one. This is day 2. So this is for tomorrow severe weather possibility here. So this is going to be including portions of the Dakotas, even portions of Montana, even portions of Wyoming as well. So here we have severe weather. We have a marginal, just a slight risk. So we don't have a slight risk, and not extremely big potential like a enhanced risk or moderate risk. So this is going to be including portions of the Dakotas. We could very well see some really strong, very strong winds, possibly for hail, maybe a tornado or two. This is not going to be a huge tornado outbreak or anything. This is going to be mainly maybe a hail or a wind threat. Now let's go ahead and check out day 3. So this is now day 3. As you see, what we just saw a couple seconds ago, here we had this very, a lot more widespread of a severe weather threat. We know that day 4 is also a big day, maybe for portions of Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Dakotas. We'll see. But this is where we actually had a lot of enhanced risk, even a moderate risk, I believe, last week here for Minnesota, for northwestern Minnesota, eastern North Dakota, eastern South Dakota, and far northern Nebraska. This is almost the exact same region, basically the exact same portion of the state. So we can very well see another enhanced risk here. We have a 15% chance for severe weather, which means we can very well have a slight or an enhanced risk. And we have a very widespread marginal that can very well become a bit more widespread and even slight risk. Now let's go and check out the model to see exactly how favorable the conditions are, and also the timing, where the location, and exactly how strong these storms will be. So here we are looking at the North Central Plains here on the radar. As we see, by tomorrow, we have a low pressure system, defined low pressure system for western North Dakota at 997 millibars. That can very well bring in some very strong storms for portions of eastern and central North Dakota, even some pop-up bands for portions of South Dakota. There's going to be some semi-discrete or discrete cells here that can very well just bring more of hail and wind, not really tornadoes. As you see, they kind of scatter into now day 3 or Wednesday. This is when the storms get really crazy. By Wednesday, we're going to see some very strong storms developing into Wednesday. These look very intense. As you see, we can't get any further, but they're going to become very, very intense. And Nebraska going to be really popping up with a low pressure system. And as you see, this is following the exact area where the slide was all the way over here. So let's go ahead and check out now the normal and general GFS model, so you guys can see the future all the way up to the 18th. So as you see, the normal GFS or general GFS model here is showing these very strong storms proportion to Nebraska, Minnesota, the Dakotas. This is exactly where we see these very strong storms moving in. As you see, they can be very intense for portion near Grand Forks, Fargo, Minneapolis, even a portion of Michelle, South Dakota. They can be very intense. And like I said, we could very well see another severe weather event maybe on day 4 or day 5 for the Midwest. And the Midwest is definitely going to blow up for a portion of this week. So it's not just day 2 and day 3. You're going to have some more severe weather days after this. And now let's go and check out now the pivotal weather. Let's see the Cape Valleys and also the low-level jet to see how favorable these conditions are. Let's go and look at the Cape Valley, which is the amount of energy in the atmosphere, including instability, overnight heating, humidity, all the factors into severe weather. Here, let's go ahead and check out now tomorrow. As you see, we're going to be seeing a good numbers here for portions of the Dakotas and Midwest. Here, we're going to be seeing up to 5,000, or it's not 5,000, up to 3,000 joules per kilogram maximum here to 3,011. We're going to be seeing some decent numbers here, but really the most numbers will be on the 17th. This is now the morning of the 17th. You'll be seeing at the 4,500 joules per kilogram for the exact areas we had a slight risk here. So this could very well become an enhanced risk, as the amount of energy is really, really high here. Not limited amount of energy here. This could very well create these very strong storms with the amount of energy is there. And then those numbers kind of go down a little bit more. Last thing we'll be looking at is the low-level jet here. As you see, we need, for people who know severe weather, we need a really good amount of shear actually to favor some severe weather. Obviously, you can see some severe weather without wind shear, but really, we have some very strong storms that can produce with the low-level jet here. They bring wind shear. This is going to really maximize the possibility for severe weather. This is now, we're looking at June 17th. Look at this very strong amount of shear, low-level jet here. See a dip in the wind shear there. It's a low pressure system there. As you see, we're going to be seeing some really favorable conditions for a portion of the exact areas. The Dakotas, the Montana area, up to 75 knots here. And as it continues, this is going to even strengthen to 101 knots. Very, very favorable conditions for some severe weather. We have wind shear in place. As you see, we tend to see some really strong tornadoes where we have a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, higher in the atmosphere. Up to 104 knots, 106 knots here. Perfect condition that kind of dies down. Just that potential for severe weather. Hope you guys did enjoy this shorter video here on the severe weather. Hope you guys did. I hope this did help, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And bye, guys.